Okay, so let's go ahead and download what we need from the Bootstrap website. Now obviously if you have a page already that you're adding this form to, or you have the Bootstrap files and are all ready to go, then you can actually skip this section. However, it would be good to test the form on a blank template first, just to make sure that you know how it works and make sure that it won't cause any issues with your current page. Now here there are a couple of options available, depending on which version of Bootstrap you're using. For this lesson I'll be using the alpha version of Bootstrap 4, as that's the current version available at this moment of recording. Now I've attached the Bootstrap 4 files to this lecture so you can get up and running nice and quickly, as the compiled version isn't quite ready for download yet. So if you wanted to use the new version, then please download that. However, I've also attached the files you need for Bootstrap 3. It depends entirely on how you'll be using the form. The code we will be creating will be the same for either Bootstrap 3 or 4, so there is no difference in that area. If you want to create a page around the form, then I'd recommend using Bootstrap 3, as Bootstrap 4 isn't stable enough for a working site yet, certainly not at the time I'm recording this, but it is stable enough for me to demonstrate how to build the contact form. Obviously, depending on when you take the course will depend on what version you use. However, I will keep the files updated to the latest version within this lecture. But I do believe that Bootstrap 3 will continue to exist when Bootstrap 4 is officially released, unlike when it was updated from version 2 to 3, version 2 was removed. So I'll just make sure that both versions are updated as and when they're officially announced. So just make sure you download the one you want to work with. The code will be the same in each example, so there's no right or wrong answer here, and it solely depends on the stability of Bootstrap 4 at the time. So once you've downloaded the files, you should have your folder with these 2 or 3 additional files included. If you're using Bootstrap 3, you'll have an additional fonts folder. However, if you're using Bootstrap 4, the fonts folder won't be there because the glyph icons have been removed in the new version, as the majority of people prefer to use Font Awesome icons. Now if you're not sure what the Bootstrap framework is, or you're not 100% comfortable with it, then just be sure to check out my other 2 courses on the topic. There you'll find a solid understanding and be able to plug this form into your page with ease. So obviously I would recommend signing up for those at some point. Just visit my website and you can get a saving on the current selling price. But next we'll move on to getting everything set up, and we'll do that within our next lecture.